Hi, I'm Kevin. I am system administrator in the legal industry, and I give ABBYY FineReader PDF a 5 out of 5. We actually looked at a few different products, but we ended up using Scandal Pro. We have Fujitsu scanners, and that's actually was the recommended software from Fujitsu at the time. We used it for a short while and found that it was very, very slow in processing the OCRs. Then we did some research on it, dug around, found out that it only would operate on one core of the processor no matter how many you had available, and that they did not have a multi-core version that went beyond 2 cores. We had an 8-core physical processor machine that it was running on at the time, so we did some investigating, and the next highest recommended we saw from Fujitsu was the ABBYY FineReader product. So then we ended up trying out ABBYY and found that we could get a version of it that ran on as many cores as you could throw at it. The main reasons we picked it were because of processing time and accuracy. Once we actually gave the trial a go, we found that it was very, very good at reading text, even stuff that wasn't real clear, things that we had faxed to us that didn't have a good clear image on them. It still managed to interpret it correctly. That was a big plus for us because we do a lot of text searching on medical records, which can be hundreds of pages. So speed was another factor too at that point. When you're talking about scanning in 400-page documents, you needed to process as quickly as possible. Eventually we ended up with a Core i9 processor, and each one of the threads gets treated separately, so each thread was actually processing a different page at the same time. I highly recommend using the high-end Intel processors with this software because of that, and it will really show a big improvement. We also love that ABBYY has automatic processing so that you can dump PDF files into a certain folder, and it will go through and look for new files every couple minutes, add them to the queue, and then it will process those, but that is more slow when it was only running on 1 core at a time. The installation is pretty quick and simple. It took us a little bit of fine-tuning to find just the right settings in how it would save the PDFs, what image rate it would look at them as for the scanning portion of it, to get the fastest speed that we could while still remaining good and accurate with our model of scanner. So that will take some adjusting and playing around. I think we had it all figured out within about 2 hours of tinkering with it and trying larger documents off and on though. Highly recommend ABBYY as being one of your choices that you look at. You may want to go through though and see what the manufacturer of your scanner, if you're assuming you're using a high-end scanner to take all this stuff in, and see if that is a product that they support and that works well with them. But the software is fantastic. It's very fast, it's very accurate, and we absolutely love it. We use Fujitsu model scanners with it. We have a couple of copies of it that we're running, and I also highly recommend having a strong PC for it. Solid state drives are nice because then you won't get slowed down by things being saved to a hard drive, but the big plus is use an Intel processor with a lot of threads. We have tested with AMDs, and they just do not perform nearly as well as with the Intel chips.